Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Film Business Show. Today we got a cool episode. This one is MacBeth, starring Michael Fassbender. This is the composition, and this is the coloring review of that film. Super beautiful film. They call it the perfect film. You can literally picture perfect film. Pause the frame, and you'll see something fucking amazing. It just looks like a painting, the whole thing does. Please like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube. It really helps us out. Plus, there's a whole comment section that really assists us. You can put in all kinds of cool stuff in there and talk directly to us. Now, back to the show. So, MacBeth. Michael Fassbender in this movie is absolutely amazing. The whole film, I just cannot get over how beautiful this film is. It is such an honor to the tragedy of MacBeth. I will tell you the truth. I fell in love with the Roman Polanski MacBeth. I thought it was brutal. I thought it was vicious. I thought it was amazing. That was my favorite MacBeth. And to an extent, it really still is. You know, as far as Roman Polanski and all that kind of stuff, that's a whole other thing. But looking at just his work and just the art from the artist I really enjoyed that film. That has been my favorite MacBeth. Don't get me wrong. I love Denzel Washington. I thought he did a great job. But, that Roman Polanski one really got me. However, this one is something that I study as much as possible. Every time that I sit down and try to make a movie and try to make something that's unique and push myself to really expand some kind of creative boundary, it is all with MacBeth thrown into my head. I am trying my best to mimic a picture-perfect film. This is all about film composition. This is that episode that describes it to a T. This is what you should be doing every time you shoot something. If you could make a film where every single shot was like a painting, how proud of that you would be. I mean, oh my God, that's what this movie is. So, the tragedy of MacBeth is a story that's been told countless times. A lot of people know it. People understand the film. They understand the story. They know what they're getting into every time they see MacBeth. They're like, okay, I know the story. It's, this guy who goes out and kills the king and takes his place and has all the guilt, and the guilt ends up eating him up alive, and his wife as well until his wife kills herself, and then he ends up fighting, killing off his own men, killing off, the people that, believed in him the most, and they come back to take revenge and off with his head, right? That's how it works. This film is just striking on so many levels. When you look at color, rich, natural color looks richer when you have a scene before it or a scene afterwards or place it in a sandwich that doesn't have that much color, because then it really is vibrant and engaging. But taking away the color in a way that's not just black and white or just toning the tones down or whatever it is making everything look more uniform in a certain location. Now with this film, even making vibrant colors uniform with themselves, with the fire, with the flames, with how it engaged, with how it built up, the sense of taking color and playing with it to the composition, using the color to light and to get the eye to look at something in a certain way. This is taking a gold character, wrapping him in gold, in a room that's more grayish and greenish and just kind of melds together in the background. The gold is not so shiny, the gold is not so overpowering, but it is different in the sense which draws the eye to it, which is the spiral. That's what this is. With color, you can also create shapes. You can take the greens of the grass with the blue and the white of the sky and create triangles and diagonals and lines. This film has used all different elements of filmmaking to make these beautiful and gorgeous pictures throughout the entire film. The biggest thing when you're looking at this is really notice how they use negative space. This film takes negative space to a whole nother level, making someone look so lonely. That is what really drives the madness of MacBeth. In the other films, in the other versions, they do play with this a lot, and I can't knock them for it. I really do enjoy them, but I feel like this one did the best as far as making him feel lonely and maddening him in a way where even in a room full of people, he still felt the smallest. That is a hard thing to do. So taking your character and your story, you can do elements of this where you can place your character in a certain position of the frame and make them the smallest person in the room. Take a color, place it onto them so that they stand out from the room. And now the rest of the room is vibrant and filled with life and going on and doing their own thing. And this character is trapped in this little space. And that right there isolates and subconsciously places them as an alien to the rest of the scene, the rest of the frame. And that is what draws the uniqueness of it. Look at the photography. Photography and studying photography, really beautiful, award-winning photography, will really help in your cinematic progression, especially if you're a cinematographer. It's going to help you understand the different depths of focus, the different depths of field, the way that you can place an object and break it out, where you can take a character or an object that is the same color as the background and the foreground and all this, and instead of just blurring it to focus it on that so that that is the color, you can actually make its color melding with the same stand out. How do you do this? It's all with the way that it's shot and the perspective of how the angle is taken. This film does that masterfully. Besides that, going into it, the other thing that you should really look into is the framing of the characters in their conversations with close-up one-shots. The entire world is almost always blurred out, which really engages your audience into exactly what they're talking about. Now, this film plays with all different variety of those kind of shots, of those kind of things, and they allow you to really feel the plethora of camera angles and composition that you can use. But the best thing that you can really pull of an audience, and this is the thing that intrigued me the most about this film, was that I always felt engaged in what they were saying. It is hard to take a film like MacBeth and put it in today's world and make it engaging, because them and how they talked and how they spoke it's extremely long-winded. Most of the time, it doesn't connect all that way with the audience as much as you'd like to say it does. It can be hard to watch and hard to listen to and hard to stay focused with. Now, pairing that with beautiful cinematography, absolutely outrageous and amazing acting skills, and then the sound, the sequencing, all of that stuff, pairing it with stunning and amazing filmmaking skills, you can keep it engaging. But the best thing about it is once someone, and just a note, just this, something that I saw, was that when you take a character and you're having them discuss something, and then you bring in on the important part, the world out of focus and just focusing on them, your audience will lean forward and listen. It's just a natural thing to do. It happens every day in your human life. It really does. Where you'll be sitting down talking to somebody, and then you'll notice when they change something, and now you listen more closely. They change the way they look, or maybe they get a tear in their eye, maybe something happens emotionally in the room where the energy kind of changes, or maybe they just look at you a little bit different. They lock their eyes onto you. You know when something is serious, when something is important, so use these kind of elements sparingly, especially if you were doing these long-winded, highly intelligent and just kind of foreign dialogues. It can really assist you in still engaging that audience, especially the general audience, because the more general the audience gets, the more that they're just like, let's get the action, let's get this going. I want to see blood. I want to see, what this is. A lot of people, and now it's kind of changing, but a lot of people still are on that kick where talking movies are boring. So engage them with the camera work. Engage them where they're looking at this image and they can dance their eyes across every inch of this frame and still find something interesting to look at. And the more that you can do that, the better that's going to be for your film, and the more awards you're going to win, the more that people are going to take you serious, the more that people are going to admire you. And it starts with just watching the films that they do the best with. So this is just a film, another one that, in my opinion, you should study, especially if you're going to be a cinematographer. If you already are a cinematographer, this film should be in your top 5 as far as films to study, because it is a picture-perfect film, and it will really, really help your skills if you can learn, or you can focus on adapting the skills that they have into your own wheelhouse. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me in the Film Business Show. I hope that really helped out. I hope that it does work for you, and I hope that you watching that film, even if you're just a director or a writer or an editor, whatever, even if you're just a PA, you just like sitting around, or if you just like movies, that film right there is worth a watch. It's worth a study. It is a film school film that you can take so much information from, especially when it comes to cinematography. So, give it a watch. Please follow us on Danger Dog Productions at Facebook, on YouTube, and check out dangerdogproductions.com. You'll find different merchandise and different things that we offer, and all that money goes into the Danger Dog Bowl filled with treats, and he loves it. He just digs it. I love it too. So please hook us up. it'd be great. As always, stay dangerous, people.